Louder with Crowder, Steven Crowder in a big-time knockdown drag-out with Ben Shapiro and the people over there at
Daily Wire.
And this is a very interesting debate. I think that a lot of this is staged. Crowder doesn't seem like that type of posturer. Neither does Shapiro, but you never know. I think Shapiro is telling everybody that, like, the people who work for him handled a lot of this. They offered Steven Crowder a contract, right, to come over to Daily Wire. Daily Wire employs who else? They pay Gina Carano to act in some of their movies. They pay who else?
Candace Owens. They have Jordan Peterson. They have
Michaela Peterson.
That one girl, Cooper, something. The young girl who pretends to be a streamer, a hip.
I don't know. I don't dial really in on much of Ben Shapiro's stuff just because the way his delivery.
You don't know Femme Shapiro?
No, Ben Shapiro's an interesting guy, but his delivery is kind of a turnoff. It's work for me to listen to some of his content. But what they told Louder with Crowder, Steven Crowder, who, if you don't know who that is, he's
that's literally her, Brett Cooper.
Interesting. And you call her Femme Shapiro because she's Ben Shapiro, but
tell me, I mean,
yeah, they look very similar. The eyebrows are.
It's super interesting because they have this whole set for her that mimics a Twitch streamer's bedroom, and they have her wear the headphones, and they have her try to interact with chat. Or no, not really, but it's
she's in a high rise.
Show. Yeah, it's like a studio show.
She's got hospitality waiting for her in the green room next door. Get some carrot sticks and some ranch.
Craft services.
Yeah, craft services. Maybe an old fashioned between sets.
Interesting thing about the Crowder Shapiro battle is, like, Shapiro, or let's say Daily Wire, is reaching out to Crowder because they love what Crowder does. They're saying, hey, you could add value to our company. What does Crowder do? I mean, we could have a debate about this, but he does racism online very well. And they want that, but they're like, if you get demonetized and go too hard with the racism, we're not going to pay you for that. It's hilarious to me.
Well, it is, but so this is kind of like a fake controversy, right? Everybody on the right saying, "Oh, we all got to band together," and so this tribalism in politics and now in our culture, in my opinion, is just a joke. So if you don't toe the company line in the Republican Party, right, they call you a rhino. You know what that means?
Mm-hmm.
Republican in name only. Dan Crenshaw gets accused of that all the time. So you're more mainstream Republicans.
Yeah.
If you're not
never Trump.
Yeah, if you say anything bad about Trump, then all the Trumpers call you a rhino. This is why I think our two-party system in this country is just so ridiculous. There are a lot of us out here who do not align very well with either party, and yet when it comes to voting, we have to pick the lesser of two evils, and we say we are the best country on the face of the earth, and yet we can't come up with a viable third party that wouldn't end up causing the party that we disagree with the most to end up taking over. It's very interesting. Louder with Crowder, Steven Crowder, his big thing too was the way he kind of went viral, so he'll correct me if I'm wrong, were the tables on college campuses that changed my mind. Yeah.
He engaged in debates with 19-year-olds.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, can you find one that we could give as an example? Because this is an interesting way to make a name for yourself, and he certainly leaned into it.
Let's not forget about the great reenactment of George Floyd's murder.
Yeah.
And Steven's just a failed theater kid. You know, he was on Arthur. He was the brain on Arthur on the later seasons, the worst seasons.
Don't let anybody who's creating content try to convince you that they're just some, I don't want anyone looking at my stuff. I mean, that's the goal. So a failed theater kid, that's a funny.
Him and Ben. You know, Ben also wanted to be in the arts, but then you realize how good of a grift conservative guru
it is. A good
punditry
grift
is.
Well, I don't think that
I love that Crowder's like, oh, big con, let's stick together against the billionaire funded. Like, there's no way he hasn't seen some of that money, because his mug club is not funding everything. And so that's why when you say it's staged, I mean, maybe, but
well, I don't know. I mean, I don't think Shapiro would do well if he wanted to be an actor and they cast him in a Western, but he showed up and he wouldn't put a cowboy hat over the yarmulke. You know, I mean, that's I'd change jobs too.